Hey there, Kathleen Selmans here. And I want to talk about a question that I get asked pretty frequently, which is which of the large language models should I be using? You can't really compete on price because they're all $20 a month. And stacking that is not actually a big deal when it comes to how much they actually do. But chances are, if you're like most people, you don't need to subscribe to every single one of them. I'm going to go through all 4 of the ones that I have subscribed to and try, and then I'm going to give you my final recommendation at the end. First up is ChatGPT 4o. And this one is probably the one you're most familiar with. They were first to market and they have the lion's share of everybody's attention. People are watching what they do. There's lots of news about them. They're the ones that if you've used them at all, you've used ChatGPT. Their newest model is a much better, more natural writer than just regular ChatGPT 4. But one of the things that I notice is that it's much more technical. So if you're a creator or a creative or a marketer, sometimes it's too technical and too stilted for what you might want to write. It's not as great at writing an email as it is doing other things. The things that I find it really, really helpful with are technical requests. So for example, I have a license to a course. So I bought a license from someone who created a really cool course, and now it's my turn to turn it into my brand voice. And ChatGPT 4o has done a really outstanding job with that. So what I've done is I've given it my brand voice, and I have uploaded that to the chat window, and then I give it the transcript and I say, can you please don't write this as a transcript, but give me the takeaways in this format. That's been super, super great. It's very good at technical types of things. The other thing it's great at is code. So I don't do a lot of coding, but I really appreciate ChatGPT 4o for things like, hey, I need this JSON example to give to make.com in order to help with an automation that I'm running in the background. And it does that. And then I can go ahead and plop that into make.com and show that it's doing what it needs to be doing. If that doesn't make any sense to you, then maybe this is not the model for you. But those are the benefits right now for using ChatGPT 4o. Next up, we have Claude, and Claude is actually 2 right now because what they have is one that's great for brainstorming, and that's Opus, and then one that's great for writing, and that one's called Sonnet 3.5. So those are Claude's newest models right now, and I have always really liked Claude's writing style. I think it does a great job with natural writing. It's a lot more open and natural and creative. And if you want to shoot off an email, it's great. You can use Sonnet and you can make an email that's, probably 75, 80% of the way there, just with Sonnet. It doesn't add emojis in every line. It's not trying too hard, it feels like. And Opus is so great for when you have some ideas. So one of the things I use Opus for is I will take it and I'll say, okay, here's what I have. I have 6 pages of notes from a coaching call I was in. I also have the transcript for the notes, and I would like your help in synthesizing these seemingly scattered notes along with what we were talking about, and help me turn that into a plan that's a step-by-step plan. That is super. Opus is 10 times better than anybody else for that. And I really, really like that. So those are the 2 that I use. There's other older models, but I'm sort of the opinion that when we have new stuff, if we're subscribers, we should just keep with the newest because they're making vast improvements every time a company releases a new model. One of the cardinal rules of OpenAI and generative AI in general is that everything is amazing, and right now it's the worst it'll ever be. So let's move on to one that I just don't think gets enough attention, and that's Gemini. They used to call it Vertex. It's from Google. And yes, that's the company that gave us racially diverse Nazis and got in the news a couple of weeks ago because they were sourcing Reddit comments from non-reliable sources. And so one of the things they got caught with was there was a post that said how to get healthier, and the automated AI response from Google, from Gemini, was that you should eat one small rock a day. So yeah, it's not perfect, but Google's got the power to do lots of really cool things. And I feel like it's a little more limited. You can't upload just anything. It has to be either a text or images for now. But it has a large upload window. You can upload a ton to it. So that's why people like it for the back ends of stuff, for the developer window. So you don't like override what they call the token count, which helps with automations that don't break. And it's Google. So they come up with fast responses. It's not the most creative, but it does do a great job with structured output. And one of my favorite things about Gemini is that with one click, you can export the results to a Google Doc. That's a cool thing about being in the same ecosystem, right? Like I use Google Docs for everything. That's not one I currently subscribe to because I don't think it's as strong for all the other things that I do. But if what you are looking for, like they have a decent deal, for the first couple of months, it's like $16 a month, not $20. It goes up after 3 months, but whatever. Like if you wanted to test it out and see if you like it, you might really enjoy having access to Gemini. And finally, let's talk about Perplexity. Perplexity is really cool, and it's getting in trouble right now because it seems that it's not creating as much original content or code as they claim to. But from a user standpoint, what I like about Perplexity is that you can use it to search the web, and you can switch your models. So you can use Claude, all of Claude's newest models, all of ChatGPT's newest models inside a Perplexity window. And then what you can do is it has different focus modes. So you can have a conversation that does search the web every time, and it gives you a robust answer, a well-researched, robust answer every single time. People are starting to use it over search, and that's probably the direction people are going. So SEO is going to completely change in the next probably 18 months or so. But I find myself switching between Perplexity with Claude and ChatGPT 4o almost interchangeably. I do subscribe to both of them. I find that it's useful to have sort of a difference of opinion. There comes a time where you're having a conversation with an LLM and it's just not giving you what you want, and it's better to just switch and try again in a different thread or a different window or whatever. But all of these are so super powerful. And if you subscribed to all four, you'd be paying $80 a month, which on the one hand is a lot of subscription. But on the other hand, for $80 a month, this much computing power, just imagine like what somebody in the past would have thought when they were told that you can actually do anything you want with this type of content. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that gives you some clarity. There'll be links to all of the different ones in the description below, and I'll talk to you again soon.